continue the discussion about creating scaffolding materials to support learning and creating presentation for project-based output. But first, let us know what is scaffolding. Scaffolding refers to a method where teachers offer a particular kind of support to students as they learn and develop new concept or skill. In the instructional scaffolding model, a teacher may share new information or demonstrate how to solve a problem. The teacher then gradually step back and lets students practice on their own. It can also involve a group practice. Knowing your subject well will also help you identify the need of scaffolding. The types of scaffolding you use in your classroom will look different based on your goals, lesson, and students. Generally, scaffolding supports fall into three categories. The first category is the sensory. Sensory is the use of physical and visual elements, manipulatives, and visual aids together. Sensory scaffolding also includes modeling in front of the class, since images and gestures help paint a whole picture of the lesson. The second category is the graphic. Graphics are the mind maps, graphic organizers, and anchor charts. Are classroom staples, but they can also help students draw relationships between abstract concepts. It guides students through how to read them for maximum effectiveness. And the last and third category is the interactive. Interactive is the collaborative learning, which is an important part of the classroom, whether it's between teachers and students or among students. Strategies like think, pair, share, and jigsaw groups, where small groups are responsible for learning and teaching part of the lesson, are tried and true methods of effective collaboration.
In creating scaffolding to support learning, there are few steps as well as some of the most effective options that you can use. First is to tackle material in chunks. Asking students to read a large amount of materials or complete several pages of math problems often leads to panic. Instead, teachers should ask students to complete a small amount of work and follow it with a review. Second is use visual aids. Charts and graphs are excellent scaffolding tools. Looking at visual representations of information allows students to organize and assimilate the data before putting it to use. Third is to teach key vocabulary in advance. When learning new materials, students may be confused by words they don't understand. If they understand these key terms in advance, however, they can focus more on tasks at hand. Fourth is to allow students to ask questions. Letting students ask questions at regular intervals during the lesson plan helps students enhance their understanding by clearing up misconceptions when they occur, rather than at the end of the discussion. Fifth is to make connections. Whenever possible, teachers should connect new materials to students' existing knowledge. For example, when studying division, teachers should demonstrate the connection between division and previous lessons like multiplication. These are some of the few steps as well as some of the most effective options that you can use in creating scaffolding to support learning.
So basically, creating scaffolding is indeed beneficial in supporting learning, as scaffolds can be used to support students when they begin to work on objectives that are complex or difficult to complete. For example, the instructional objective may be for students to complete a major paper. Instead of assuming all students know how to begin the process, you can break the task into smaller and more manageable parts. To sum up, instructional scaffolds promote learning through dialogue, feedback, and shared responsibility. Through the supportive and challenging learning experiences gained from carefully planned scaffolded learning, instructors can help students become lifelong, independent learners. And to make learning during the process visible and to facilitate assessment, project-based learning culminates in a final presentation of learning. First is the idea for the presenters. Begin transforming presentations into presentations of learning by making this distinction to your students. Let them know that you expect their final presentation to be a presentation of their learning through the project building process, not just a demonstration of the product they create. So presentations of learning should include what students learn about, such as the subject matter content, planning, organizing, and implementing a project, how they learn, how they group function, and how they work in a group. The next is the ideas for the audience. The audience should be expected to give feedback on the project content and delivery. The audience should also share observations, reflections, and ideas brought up as students share their learning. Ask the student what they learned about the subject matter content, effective presentation strategies, and using technology purposefully. For instructors and facilitators, the instructor should share insights on product, student presentations, and reflections, and as well as with the audience thoughts. They should also highlight issues and events that occurred for the presenters during the process. Ask clarifying and open-ended questions that further group discussion. Listen to critique and feedback from the students and audience for insights into what the students have gained from participating in the project. This will enable the facilitator or instructors to reflect upon key elements to maintain in future projects and that can improve the process next time. The next one is beyond oral presentation. Don't settle for making every presentation an oral presentation or multimedia slideshows. Students can also share projects through small group discussion, peer-to-peer meetings, or even in a mini trade show or conference. And the last one is integrate reflection in creating a presentation for project-based learning or project-based output wherein you might ask them to reflect on new content knowledge gained their work done and contributions, obstacle in impediments, and their biggest takeaway from the project.